As we are in mid to late February, we are now in what is quite affectionately known as fool's spring, but we can still be sowing some things outside at this time of year, and I'm thinking specifically about my peas and my Mangetout. Now it does actually depend on which variety you're using, and for my peas I'm actually using Meteor, which is ideal for this time of year. Now if you do actually suffer from, say, vermin, and you know that you have maybe mice or rats around who will quite happily dig up these beautifully sown peas, then there's another alternative rather than going straight into the ground. Now peas don't like to be disturbed in terms of their root, so there's a few things you can be doing rather than going directly in the ground, and that can include lots of toilet roll tubes, our fabulous toilet roll tubes. Fill those up with compost and actually sort of put your peas in and water them in and keep them in a greenhouse. Or you can also go with the guttering method, where you have a piece of old guttering, put compost in there and sort of do like a zigzag with your peas and actually sow them in those. Now again, what you can do with these is you can elevate them off the ground and you can keep them quite safe and secure so that they are away from any vermin who may attack your very precious little seedlings. And what happens is, once they get to a certain growth, maybe about 2 centimeters, make sure that the guttering you have doesn't have an end on it, so you can literally just slide it into position without disturbing those roots too much. Now because I'm planting these directly outside, I am in an area where I know that they're going to be really happy, and this is a freshly arranged no-dig bed. But I know that peas and Mangetout are both climbers, so what I've created are these little mini A-frames. Now even though these aren't dwarf varieties, they will still climb to about sort of 3, maybe 4 foot, and I need to make sure that they don't get too tangled, because otherwise when I come to harvesting it's going to be really difficult. So all I'm going to do directly into the soil at this time of year is I'm just going to get my dibber and I'm just going to mark lines, or maybe with my hands, in the soil to around 5 centimeters in depth. Once I've done that, I'm then going to get my peas or my Mangetout, both actually sown in the same manner, and rather than doing the zigzag like I would be doing in the guttering, I'm actually just going to space these out around 15 centimeters each and have a nice straight row in the ground. Now once I've actually done these and I've got them down, all I'm going to do is make sure I'm just going to pinch the soil over the top of them so that they're actually nicely inside that soil, and just press the soil down a little bit. Now it's actually rather wet at the moment, so I'm not going to water these in. What you can do as well with peas is you can actually pre-soak them, or you can actually germinate them on some tissue paper. However, personally I find that's a bit of a faff, and going straight in the ground is fine. Now obviously being full spring, we could actually have a frost, but that's not a problem for peas, and particularly these varieties, because a little bit of frost, getting that cold temperature, when it warms up, they're going to spurt into germination and then they're going to grow. Now what I haven't done on these A-frames yet is I haven't put any extra twine on here. I will do once they've grown, but by having that there at this point, it makes it really difficult to do any weeding if I need to do any hand weeding in between. So as they start to grow, any weeds come through, I can clear those, and then I can start to get my twine on there. Be very conscious of the fact though, if you are using natural twine like I am, when the birds come to nesting, they do like to pinch it, but that's nature. So a bit more to do, and hopefully this year I should have some beautiful peas and some fabulous Mangetout.